We are gonna test out if it's possible and comfortable to be naked in other people's gardens. People who we've never met before and who have absolutely no idea who we are. Spoiler alert, it's already possible, but this is only our first stop. We recently discovered a website called Campspace, which is like Airbnb, but instead of renting someone's home, you rent a place on their property to camp. This concept isn't new. Websites like HipCamp offer a similar service. But what makes Campspace special is that they have a filter for naturism allowed. And we wanted to test how accurate this filter really is. By the way, this video isn't sponsored by Campspace. I tried to reach out to them, but they never replied. But here's the good news. If you click the link in the first comment, you get €10 credit, and so do we.
We're almost arriving at our first Campspace. It's right in the middle of the wineries. Even if we are not allowed to be naked, that's still a big plus for me.
I think you did that on purpose. Pick one in the middle of the wineries.
I have no idea. I had no idea where we're going.
Our first camp space was located in a rural area just north of Alicante in Spain. And as soon as we arrived, we dropped the question.
En Campspace dice naturismo permitido.
Sí, sí.
¿Sí?
Mira lo que quiera.
Ah, vale.
Our host was totally fine with it. We just didn't know that we would have company. Nick, what are you doing?
I have a friend here. It's kind of like it's not a farm. It's like a farmhouse in the middle of absolute nowhere with a big garden. There's this other building here. Looks like a guest house, I don't know. We didn't get so much information, but it's a wide open space. There's no people around. It's beautiful.
I love it. I absolutely, totally am in love with the place.
We also have our own dog now. Hey?
And our own cat.
Don't know his name. And there's supposed to be a cat here somewhere as well.
She's here. She's under the van.
Ah, yeah.
Hola. Oi.
And most of all, there are absolutely no other people. Except for the owners, but they stay in the other house. Where are you going? Where are you going?
We loved having animals around, although the cat turned out to be a handful. As well as the dog. And Carrie the donkey. Carrie, no! Ale. We could have made a whole video about us playing with the animals, but that was not why we came here. Are you surprised, Nick, by how easy it was just to be naked here?
I had no idea.
What did you expect?
I had absolutely no idea what to expect. I think that some people have no idea what they check when they register on Campspace. That's why we wanted to do the test.
But I think she did, because I think she also checked everything, because she's super chill, super open. She's like, yeah, whatever.
She really couldn't care.
No, exactly.
The cool thing about websites like Campspace is that they bring you to all these places that are away off the tourist trail. Like regular campgrounds, they have to be in tourist zones because otherwise they don't really get customers. And here it's like, I don't think many tourists ever come here. Of course, less tourism also means that there's not so much to do here. But we have a dog to play with, and a donkey, and a cat. Hello. It's blowing in my ear. I'm just gonna keep making videos of Carrie the donkey.
Even though this was just the first day of our experiment, we already knew that we were going to love this concept. It's a bit like wild camping, except that now we have lots of space all for ourselves, or more or less for ourselves. There's also the safety aspect. On someone's private property, it's less likely that someone will break into our van. No. Get out of the van. Okay, so a romantic quiet dinner without disturbance is not possible. But I like it. No. And then there's just the comfort of knowing that it's totally fine to be naked whenever you want to be.
Time for the evaluation. Was it possible to be naked here?
Yes,
Was it comfortable?
absolutely.
So that's 2 points for this place, and this was just our first stop. Off to the next one. What happened?
The dog happened.
Okay, off to the next one. We have arrived at our next camp space. The guy who runs it wasn't home, so it was his mother who showed us a spot. She was super nice, but it felt a bit awkward to ask her if it's really naturist, because if she had no idea what I'm talking about, then I would have to explain in Spanish that we want to be naked here. Would have been strange. So instead I've sent the guy a message and we'll see what he says. But meanwhile I will show you around. It's again in the middle of nowhere. We have animals again, but it's just chickens this time. No dog, no donkey. But we are right next to a vineyard. It's really nice. Over there are olive trees. It's big farmland. It's beautiful.
And what is Jose saying?
He says it's totally fine. You're the only campers anyway. So I'm not sure if that means it's not fine when there are more campers, or that you have to agree with the other campers. But who cares? Because we are the only campers.
All right.
Hola. There's been a minor change of events. Just when we were about to undress, Jose's father passed by to see if there are any eggs from the chickens. And he's a really, really nice guy, but he's also this local farmer. So I'm not sure yet. We'll definitely get naked to take a shower, because that's the only way. But other than that, it just feels a bit awkward. But on a side note, this is not a vineyard. These are grapes, but they are actually grapes to eat. I'm not sure what it says about us when we see grapes that we immediately think of wine. We'll leave that in the middle. Final conclusion of this camp space. Was it possible to be naked?
Yes, it was possible to be naked, but it wasn't really comfortable to be naked, to be honest.
So that's a 1 out of 2.
Yeah.
It's not too bad. Let's go to our next one.
For our next stop, we headed towards a town close to Barcelona, where our host had decided on a meeting point that we could very much appreciate. Our host today is not here yet, but it doesn't matter because she makes her own wine. I mean, take your time, Blanca. We're good. When Blanca eventually arrived, she took us to her estate where we would be spending the night.
On camp space, it says naturism allowed.
Naturismo,
Naturismo,
to be
yeah.
we don't mind. This is my forest.
Right. Here. This is it.
You probably think that we did this on purpose, but I promise you, this is the first and the only camp space in our list of which we were sure that we were in a wine region. And look at this. What a cool place is this again. Once again, we ended up at a place where we would probably never get if we didn't have camp space. This is really, really cool. I would give you the tour, but there's not so much to see. Here's a vineyard. This is where we camp, where we're gonna sleep. Over there's our table because there's a bit shade over there, it's kind of hot. And that's pretty much the tour of our campsite. I'm starting to feel that this may become a bit of a short video. There's just not that much we can show you. There's no range of facilities or amenities. It's just us in the middle of nature. And we're just sitting here, naked, in the middle of nowhere. It's It's hard to frame this. I'm not really sure how we can express the feeling of being here. But it's beautiful. I can tell you, it's beautiful.
There's just one thing that I can say is try it for yourself and just enjoy it. It's true, it's really difficult to explain the beauty of it. But maybe that's the beauty of it. Night after night, we were camping in places where we could really live in nature and without clothes.
So what's the verdict? How accurate was the naturism allowed check?
It was super accurate. We are allowed to be naked here, and for me it was super comfortable.
Just to give you an indication of what camp space costs, this place was not cheap. We paid about 38 euros for a night. That included a bottle of wine, but still it's quite expensive. And the previous ones were both about 20 euros a night. And the one we're going next is also around 30 euros. This is where we're gonna spend this night. It's not a vineyard for once, but it's a beautiful large domain. I think it's about 16 hectares, all forest and a big building. It's under construction. I couldn't really film when we asked if we could be naked here, but he said, it's your home, you can do whatever you want. So I take that as a yes.
Once again, we had ended up at a great spot in nature where it was totally fine to be naked. Later that day, our host invited us for drinks, so we put the camera away for the evening, thinking that tomorrow would be another camp space.
I think we can say we have another winner.
Yes, we have definitely another winner. It is possible to be naked, we are allowed to be naked, and it's super comfortable.
It is another beautiful sunny morning, but unfortunately, it's not gonna last. Right over there, we can already see the dark clouds coming towards us. The next few days the weather is going to be absolutely terrible. We had 2 more camp spaces on our list just across the border into France, but it doesn't really make any sense to go there when it's cold and rainy. So I guess we will have to come to a final conclusion. What's our final conclusion?
The final conclusion is that this trip was absolutely awesome, and the checks on camp space, they work, they're real. So naturism is allowed, it works. So yeah, awesome. I love it.
I'm seeing a possibility for a revolution in naked camping here, but don't quote me on this because I see possible revolutions everywhere. Any case, we are going to sit through the rains and then it's time for our next adventure. So if you don't want to miss that,
make sure you subscribe to our channel, put it on your notifications if you don't want to miss anything. And remember, if you click the link in the first comment, you get a 10 euro credit on your camp space account. And if you want us to test out more spaces like this, let us know. And also, thank you so much for watching. See you in 2 weeks.
bye. We have arrived at our next camp spot, camp space.
It's definitely, ooh.
There's just not that much we can show you. It's...
I don't think, Nick, you're in the picture. Are you? Maybe half. Come a little bit close. And also, let us know if you want us to test more of these camp spaces. And we see you in 2 weeks. Bye.